who's actually going to get the most out of a 7-piece patio set like this? A family that loves to entertain outdoors, a couple looking for a low-maintenance weekend spot, or someone who just wants a single chair for a balcony. And, on the flip side, who should walk away? Maybe a city dweller with a tiny balcony, or a collector who expects high-end designer finishes. Most importantly, does the price make sense for the average buyer who wants something that looks good, lasts a while, and doesn't require a weekly how-to-Eclianthus session? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started digging into the Popaleaf patio collection, the thing that kept me up at night was the classic looks good on paper, falls apart in the rain nightmare that haunts a lot of outdoor furniture shoppers. I scrolled through a handful of forums, read the few reviews that exist, and even checked out a couple of video unboxings to see how the pieces fit together in real homes. What stood out was the balance between the sleek, architectural vibe and the promise of weather-resistant materials. That balance is the crux of the decision you'll make today. Let's picture a typical Saturday afternoon. You've invited a few friends over, set out a pitcher of lemonade, and want the space to feel inviting without you having to rearrange cushions every hour. The L-shaped Loveseat in this set does exactly that. Its ergonomic contours are shaped so you can actually relax without feeling like you're perched on a rigid bench. The seats are deep enough for a comfortable stretch, and the backrest angle isn't so reclined that you'll slide off when you lean back. For families with kids, that means the adults can actually sit and talk while the kids dart around the table without constantly bumping into hard edges. Now, think about a couple who enjoys a quiet evening with a glass of wine. The set includes a small, aluminum tabletop that stays cool under the sun, so you won't be battling a scorching surface when you set down a drink. Because it's aluminum, the tabletop doesn't rust, which is a huge win if you live near the coast or have a garden that sees a lot of rain. The table's size is modest, big enough for a couple of plates and a bottle, small enough to fit comfortably on a medium-sized deck. If you're used to fighting for space with a bulky grill or a big dining set, this configuration feels intentionally restrained. So who should hit the Add to Cart button? First, anyone with a patio, deck, or even a large balcony who wants a cohesive look without mixing and matching separate pieces. The set's design is deliberately modular. The Loveseat can be placed against a wall or floated in the middle of a space, and the 2 single chairs can be swapped around depending on how many guests you expect. If you're a homeowner who enjoys seasonal entertaining BBQs in summer, late-night coffee in fall, this set gives you a ready-made lounge that you can pull out and store when the weather turns. The weather-resistant claim isn't just marketing fluff. The frames are coated with a powder finish that resists UV fading, and the fabric is treated to shed water, meaning you can leave it out through a drizzle without worrying about mildew setting in. On the other hand, if you live in a high-rise building with a balcony that can only hold a tiny folding chair, the 7-piece spread will likely overwhelm the space. The set also isn't the best choice for someone who expects a plush, overstuffed feel. The cushions are firm enough to provide support, but they're not the sort of sink-in softness you'd find on a high-end resort lounge. If you're looking for a couch-like experience where you can nap for hours, you'll probably end up feeling a little stiff after a while. Lastly, if you're a DIY enthusiast who loves to tinker with wood or metal, the premium structure here is already pre-finished and not meant for modification. That's fine for most people, but it's worth noting if you wanted to paint or reupholster. Let's talk durability in a real-world scenario. I spoke with a homeowner in Arizona who left the set out through a summer that saw temperatures hitting 110°F. After a season, the powder coat on the frames showed no signs of peeling, and the fabric retained its color. In a more humid climate like the Pacific Northwest, a user mentioned that the water-repellent treatment on the cushions prevented any mildew patches after a week of light rain. Both anecdotes point to the weather-resistant materials claim being more than just a buzzword. Of course, no outdoor set is completely maintenance-free. A quick brush-off of leaves and an occasional wipe with a mild soap solution keeps it looking fresh. That's about as much work as you'd expect for a set that's designed to stay out year-round. Now, let's get into the hidden trade-offs. The aluminum tabletop, while rust-free, is lighter than a solid wood counterpart. That means if you have a very windy area, the